maybe there's not much to talk about online. Here's the only thing I would say is that you guys said that Denver minus 4.5 was a freaking, or plus 4.5 was a steal, and now it's up to like 5.5. Did you double up, or are you just like?
Yeah. So I guess I can take that one to start. So when the line came out at 4, I immediately jumped on it for almost my max. I saw the line, and I hadn't run our numbers yet, which, granted, our numbers aren't perfect, but I saw it, and I was like, there's no way this line ends up above 3.5. I just thought it was going to come down towards Denver.
Right.
So I jumped on it, and of course, way premature. I look up 3 days later, and it's at plus 6.
Oh, but that's not the only thing to do premature.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to wear it.
Now that that's out of that way.
Yeah, now that our 14 viewers know that.
Hey, careful. We had 54 views at one point.
Yeah.
Did we really? Wow.
Yeah.
We had 54 views.
Trending in the right direction, huh?
That's right.
So much so that my wife didn't know the story about me getting kicked out of the airport, and then she had to call me on the next day because she was watching the video at work.
Oh, man.
I mean, she knew some of the story, but
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So,
awesome.
okay.
So anyway, so did you? So
where were we?
so
So
mine
it
is
got
or
up to
plus 6.
And I took it again at plus 6. And I expected to come back down. I talked to Jared earlier this week. I thought that we might see some sharp action. Hit it at 6. It's down to 5.5. I mean, I don't see it getting back down to 4 or anything like that, like
Right.
I initially predicted. But I mean, fortunately for me, I could buy back a little bit. If it gets to 5, I could, lay half my bet off at 5, back onto Carolina, and then potentially, if Carolina covers that number.
So is it your? Do you think like your numbers during the regular season are just, or do?
Well, there's a couple issues with my numbers, or our numbers that Jared and I do, just based on net yards per play. And the biggest thing is they don't adjust for strength of schedule. So I follow some sharp guys on Twitter, read a lot about it. The consensus number I saw was about plus 4, or the line should be about 4. So it seems like it was a pretty fair line to open. Once it got past 4, I mean, there's really nothing stopping it. There's no key numbers, so it makes sense that it got up to 6.
Right.
But I can also see 6 being a little much and coming back down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I was just off. 4 is a fair number, so it is what it is. And I don't hate it. I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to write it out.
Yeah.
I think that we talked about it the last several weeks. Denver's defense is really fucking good. You know what I mean?
really fucking good.
Their pass defense is really fucking good. I read a great write-up about the success they had versus New England. They talked a lot about how they were able to pressure Brady with 4 rushers. They could drop back 7. If you can do that against Cam Newton, which, I mean, I don't see why they can't. Like, who does Cam Newton have to throw the ball to that's, going to beat 7 guys dropping back into coverage? And it's not only a sheer number of 7 guys dropping back, potentially, but they have some really fucking good corners. They have some really good players in that secondary. So
Yeah.
I can see Denver having a lot of success on defense and limiting Cam Newton in that Carolina offense. But I really struggle to see is, Peyton Manning moving the ball. Watching the Carolina-Arizona game, they were also able to rush 4 guys and get in Carson Palmer's face, and he struggled. He struggled when they started pressuring him. He made a lot of bad throws. I mean, I could see
a lot of bad throws.
So do you think?
But I mean, I can see Peyton, dropping back and hitting his 5th step and doing his little lay down and just jump on the ground before he gets touched. And
if you bet the Broncos at plus whatever, don't you? I mean, shouldn't you bet the under too? Because that's the only way they're winning.
No, that's where I was going with it. I really like the under. It's at 45.5 last I checked. It got up to 46. We were talking about, potential scores of 45.5, 24-21. I mean, I don't see it even getting that high.
Yeah.
I don't know that Denver can score 21 points, and I don't think that Carolina's going to score 24 points.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would be a perfect score, right? For people that are backing Denver and then the under. So, I'm still debating what I'm going to do, but I think I'm going to come back on the under, lay that pretty heavy, and then probably try to hedge a little bit, or I guess not hedge, but take a little action off of
Denver.
And number where I wouldn't potentially get middle and losing both.
Here's why you should bet everything you have on Denver. It's because I love Carolina. I think Carolina should roll. I think Carolina should win by 14 points, which, based off my betting, you should put your house on Denver.
Run the complete opposite
Well, that's good
way.
enough for me. Let me just punch that in right now.
Omaha.
San Jose today, and they're having the pre-Super Bowl festivities over there, like media day and whatnot at the SAP Center.
How many Denver fans are there?
I didn't see a lot of fans. I was there, noon or something like that for lunch. But the waiter working at the restaurant I went to, said that he saw Cam Newton at La Vix, which is a little burrito
joint. Yeah, orange sauce.
So there's a 95% chance he's gonna have a mud butt Sunday. So.
That's a good point there.
That is great.
Actually, certain people have reverse mud butt. Like if you're a certain background, you can have hot Cheetos and you literally grow muscles.
Right.
Like certain cultures can have hot Cheetos, Skittles, soda. I guarantee you run a 4.
Oh my god!
I'm just saying, I'm one of them.
I was gonna say, if anybody knows that, it's Brendan Barkay. He played 95% of his college career with a poop stain down his entire pants.
That might Duke.
Well, I mean, shit. How many times did you do Chipotle? Your junior year?
Like 120 visits in a year.
Barkay paid Chipotle's monthly electricity bill just with his tab alone on a month in month.
Listen, if there's any reason you know that Barkay is just a freaking garbage disposal, go into a 7-Eleven with him at 8 a.m. After being hungover on the way to play golf. What he buys is fucking disgusting. It's incredible.
Jose Olay burritos.
Oh, it's like
beef jerky.
It's a Slurpee. It's beef jerky. It's a donut for sure. Yeah, and a banana.
Just to make himself feel a little bit better. You know that 7-Eleven donut's like 2 weeks old from Dunkin'
Can we
Donuts.
stop talking about what's really important? Can we start talking about prop bets?
Okay, all right, hang on.